and another Sunday morning, beautiful day, and a great day to do the Bet Out of Debt show. We have a special guest here today with us. Patrick, are you there?
I am here, exactly. And who is this special guest?
This special guest is a nephew of mine. His name is Ben, and he is a future investor. He's here with his notepad and he's ready to take notes. Barry, would you like to show him your notepad and say hello to the camera and to the audience?
Hi, world.
Hey, Barry.
All right, Barry. So Barry is affectionately known as Trey. And we have Shannon Allen joining us. He's the owner of the Next World Leader. So he's joining into the show to talk crypto. And Shannon, welcome to the show.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, welcome, Shannon.
Yeah.
Hey.
Long time no see.
Patrick said he ain't seen you in a while. I know he's happy to see you.
Long time, man.
So, yeah, long time. Exactly.
So Barry, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? My little nephew here, my grandnephew, he's a nephew of my nephew here. He's joining the show. He wanted to be on YouTube. He wanted to take some notes. And I said, come on the show. You're welcome to come on the show and get with the guys. Barry, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, my name is Barry. I am 8 years old. I was born in 2012, May 6th. And I like to shout out to my mom, my mother, Manisha Robinson, and my school, Bassett School, and my teacher, Miss Dozier. Yeah.
So Barry, that's great. Barry says he's going to be a future millionaire or billionaire, Barry? Billionaire? Is that what you want to be?
Yes.
And let me ask you a question. How many millions are in a billion?
1,000.
See, he's already on his way, Shannon. You see
that was
Patrick?
fast. That was fast.
Yeah. He already knows what he wants to be. He got his head on straight. I can see that.
He didn't even pause.
No, he did not pause at all. Not at all.
So guys, let's start out the Bet Out of Debt show. Bear is going to be my sidekick today. He's taking notes. I thought a great topic before we get into some of the other things that we're going to talk about today. I wanted to talk about ETFs. And I was going to have Patrick explain what is an ETF. And then Shannon, maybe you could jump in after Patrick explain what is an ETF. I certainly have some things to show. So Patrick, would you like to explain to the audience what is an ETF?
Okay, so an ETF, that's short for Exchange Traded Fund. What it is, it's a kind of like a fund that's put together by an investment firm, be it Vanguard, be it Goldman Sachs or whomever. And what it does is it tracks either an index or some other type of underlying fund. It's essentially a passive investment. So the investment fees are very, very minimal as compared to a mutual fund, which is actively invested, for regular investors. And some of the more popular funds that are these ETFs would be, let's say, the Spider, which mimic the S&P 500. You have the QQQ that mimics the NASDAQ 100. So essentially, these funds mimic the index or some kind of underlying asset, virtually 99.9999%. And then I guess the discrepancy would be the low maintenance fee per year.
Gotcha. Hey, Shannon, before we get into the next
Oh yeah,
world
and
order, next world leader, sorry, Shannon. Go ahead, Patrick. Go ahead.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
and I'm sorry. And there's something they trade like a regular stock, and that's what I forgot to tell you. And you could write options and trade options on them, just like a regular stock.
And unlike a mutual fund, right?
Well, there's some closed-end mutual funds that could be traded, but they have higher expense fees ratios. The exchange traded funds are a lot more liquid, much more powerful because of the expense ratio. And as a result, the options and everything else surrounding these ETFs would be a lot more liquid. The better investments to have as a result.
Shannon is joining us from Miami, Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Shannon and I go back a couple of decades. He actually does some incredible stuff for the show that you will see in the future. He's actually designing our website, and Shannon is a consultant of mine. And he's a member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. So Shannon, do you deal with ETFs? Do you use ETFs at all? Is it part of your investment strategy?
I don't. I'm well aware of them because there's crypto ETFs as well, and I'm sure that Patrick can speak more on that as well. But to Patrick's point, cryptocurrency ETFs trade like stocks, like you said, but people can track a single cryptocurrency or a basket of digital tokens or currencies. So I know people can do that as like a way to get their feet wet, where somebody else is kind of helping them out and managing that. And there's different considerations with that. I know the SEC is trying to figure everything out with that because they're just learning how to make the whole digital play work. But to your point, I don't actively deal with ETFs like that. I'm just well aware of them. My expertise is more in understanding the cryptocurrency and what the different ones do and how to protect yourselves. And that's the real big thing that I'm into.
Yeah. And that's why Shannon is here. He is here to not only talk about some of the ventures that he is doing, as well as talk about crypto on the show. I personally invited him to come here and educate our audience on that. So Shannon, you're new to the show here. I wanted to provide our platform to give you an opportunity to talk about, before we get into the crypto, about the next world leader company you have in that venture. So would you like to share more about that project?
Gotcha. Well, one of the main things that Next World Leader is primarily in the future going to act similar to, my partner James and I have a business partner. His name is James LeGrand. And James is actually a vice president at BNY Mellon. So we might need to bring him on here one day. He knows a lot about stocks and crypto and but more from the banking perspective. He's like a vice president at BNY Mellon. But our thought process with Next World Leader is we're going to make something similar to like how Berkshire Hathaway has a company where we make the right investments in multiple different things and help to partner with companies and bring them up. So, working with different ideas and platforms and tag teaming with people like yourself to be able to be on the cutting edge of what's next. Because Troy, I've been screaming at Troy about Bitcoin for a long time, and in the beginning he was a little bit hesitant, not all the way hesitant. He just wanted to see more documentation. So I tried to flood him with documentation, and after we flooded him with documentation, he came around a little bit with it. It was like, hey, you know what? This does have merit. And then at that point, I think we first started talking about it when Bitcoin was like 7,000.
Yeah, way back. And I'm still, where I struggle a bit is having an underlying asset tied to it. Like with a stock, the company, the performance, the product it provides, that's the basis of the stock price. And then with options, the option is a derivative of the stock of the company, the stock of a company. Where I struggle a little bit and have struggled with crypto is, what is the underlying asset? It is just essentially putting your money in a structure, and the structure keeps going up in value. And it appears to be based on a lot of hype, but it can't just be hype, because you have, smart money like Elon Musk and others in that space. So if we want to go right into that, Shannon, we can really go into, crypto now. So, do you want to just comment on what I just said?
Well, to your point, people are investing in the network. Okay. So Bitcoin has no loyalty to any government, which I think is good. And I think that a lot of the governments right now are, they're vacillating because they see what this thing is. So, for example, Venezuela, their dollar with their hyperinflation is okay, but it's people that were surviving on mining Bitcoin and dealing with Bitcoin because it doesn't have any national affiliation. You can't stop Bitcoin no matter where you're at. If you have Bitcoin, your Bitcoin is going to be good. Now, in the inverse to that, there's a lot of people that are looking into, these nations are looking at creating central bank digital currencies, which is China just created their the first nation's digital currency. And the United States is looking at creating one as well. But to that point, if the United States decided to say, you know what, Troy, he's got certain political beliefs that I'm not into, let's just turn him off. That's possible. But with Bitcoin, you can't turn that person off.
Interesting. So how do you protect yourself with Bitcoin? What's preventing someone from hacking the computer program and stealing your Bitcoin?
I mean, that's the same issue that everybody's going to have to deal with right now. Because I've been telling people, like, this is a digital gold rush right now, but nobody's protecting themselves. For example, literally in my phone, 2 days ago, a friend of mine, he bought Dogecoin in 2014. He bought 20,000 Dogecoin for like $30.
Ooh.
That is worth probably like $60,000 now, right? But he told me, he was like, Shannon, I got the keys, but I don't know how to get it. I'll split it with you if you can help me figure out how to get it off. And that's what's going to happen to a lot of people. Some people don't know how to protect themselves and their digital currency, and then some people later won't even know how to get it off. So I tell people...
Yeah, and then Go ahead.
My point, you can just jump into it, is I tell people, if you're going to be into it for a while, make sure you get a cold wallet and don't keep your stuff on the internet or on a hot wallet. And that's just basic practice. A cold wallet is a hard drive that you can just take your stuff off.
Yeah. One of the other guys that talked crypto on the show, he was talking about he has shared on previous episodes. And Patrick, I forget the name of what it is, but he shared a portable hard drive.
That's some kind of really highly secure portable hard drive that he has. He says you get it at Amazon or Best Buy or Walmart. It's pretty readily available. And if you're going to be investing in Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency, it's probably a really good investment. It's only like about $99 or so to get one. That's really good.
Mm-hmm. Trezor or a Ledger. You can get either Trezor or a Ledger. I prefer the Trezor over the Ledger, but
yes,
both will be good.
Yes.
So I have my little nephew here,
Mm.
and maybe he will want to buy some crypto someday. Shannon, do you have like a crypto for a little youngster, a billionaire in the making? Do you have a recommendation or something you should consider?
Troy, I don't. Can you pull up Coin Market Cap?
Coin market cap?
Yeah, if you
I
go on
mean,
if you go on Coin Market Cap, there's two. Because right now I'm looking at because I figured you might ask me something like this, so I pulled up a couple.
oh, hold on. Where's Coin Market Cap? What is the
So
address? Is it
so
Coin Market
so
Cap?
it's CoinMarketCap.com. So if you wanted to track any of your crypto and know exactly how much where it's at any current time, or you can search different cryptocurrencies, you can go to
Yeah.
CoinMarketCap.com.
And I could share my screen on Coin Market Cap, maybe. Is this it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Oh,
So
interesting.
what would my nephew be looking for on Coin Market Cap here?
So if you scroll up and you do look for the search bar on there, and you can see the price of Bitcoin right now, Ethereum.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, well
yes.
find the search bar.
The
I think scroll up.
search bar
Yeah,
right
yeah.
there.
Okay, type in Vechain, Vechain. Yep, there it goes. VET.
Vechin.
AIN. I saw it just a second ago. Back. There you go.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
see it.
VeChain.
Yeah.
Click it.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, scroll down. You see it's 21 cents per
Okay.
coin. But look at the chart.
Yeah, if you scroll all the way down.
Let's look at.
Oh wow,
Ooh,
look at that.
that chart.
Yeah, that's straight up. That's like a
Okay.
that's like a space needle.
Right, exactly. Right. So if you scroll up right now, you can see a link to the website. You can learn about the
Let me look
website.
at the last month, the last 1 year, the last 3 months. So there's the last 3 months. Okay. All right.
Okay, so VeChain is one. Okay, and if you scroll back up to the search and you look up HBAR, HBAR, HBAR,
HBAR.
right? Hedera Hashgraph. So this is what I was speaking
Hash.
about.
Yes.
So you see it's down 13%.
Right.
And it's 30 cents
And
per
so that
coin.
only costs.
Yep.
Right.
Yes.
Ooh, look at that chart.
It almost looks like it's topping out. If you but then it hasn't really broken below that 50 that 30 cent mark. So if that holds, I mean, I think we're pretty good.
Yeah.
And then look at this.
Mhm.
Go ahead, Shannon. Go ahead, please.
So to this point, if you look up Hedera.com, this is the cool part, because outside of looking at the charts, what people have to realize is the technology behind it. Okay. And the technology behind Hashgraph is way in the future. So if you go to Hedera, the spelling's right there, HEDERA.com, or click the link where you see at the top where it's got the little link.
At the top where it has the little link. Where's
Okay.
that, Shannon?
So right there, you see Hedera.com. So down to your left.
Hedera.com. Down
So
to my left, right
there
here.
you go, right there. Yep, click it. Okay, and then I'm sure some people are gonna guarantee some people are gonna be happy after this bet out of debt. Scroll down, and you'll see a little chart, but you see all it.
Ooh, look at.
So your company right there, Boeing.
Yeah, there it is.
Okay, keep going, keep scrolling down. You see all of these people that they're working with. Okay.
Google.
Mm-hmm. Join a future based on trust. Okay. Keep going down and you'll see the transactions. See, this is a third generation public ledger. So right now, this chart says this. Bitcoin is the first generation. It does 3 transactions per second. okay, you would consider Ethereum the second generation. So Bitcoin is like the digital gold, Ethereum is the digital silver. But you see, the third generation, the Hashgraph, does 10,000 transactions per second, and it doesn't have a fee. The fee is at 0.0001. And you see the
Oh,
confirmation
okay.
of transactions. You see, this is next level.
So confirmations in 3 to 5 seconds, where these take double the time and triple. And this is a lot longer. Okay. And Bitcoin. Gotcha.
Ooh, 3 to 5 seconds. Wow.
Okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah, but between those two, you know, that little billionaire right there, he's got a couple dollars over there, so he can get him a couple of Hashgraph and a couple of VeChain.
Yeah. And it looks like he can get it for like 30 cents.
Yeah, yep.
So do you have to buy that HBAR? Do you have to buy that in blocks, so you could just spend 30 cents and get a coin?
Yeah, well, he's got to get it off. You got to get it off of an exchange. So each one of those sites has an exchange. So if you go back to CoinMarketCap, it is an area on there where it says buy, and you click where it says exchange, and it shows the different exchanges that you can get it on.
Can we go back there for a second?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that okay, Shannon?
Hey, man, I'm with you on your show. This is your show.
Okay. All right. Let me go back here and let's go. So I'm back, Shannon, on CoinMarketCap.
So let's
Can
go
you
to
see that?
Yep. So let's go back to the search and act like you're going to buy either HBAR or VeChain, one or the other.
I think that third generation, it sounds really good to me.
So
And I saw a couple of companies that I have invested heavily in. So I think
okay.
I'll go with the Hashgraph that you've been talking about for many months offline.
Right. Oh yeah, take them to how many? Take them to the year to date. Let's see how long we've been talking about this.
I don't want to embarrass myself.
No,
So where do I go, Shannon? So is it right here
do
where
it for
it says
everybody, just to
buy?
see. This is an example so people can see the opportunity. But yeah, the buy
I
button is
know.
right there,
And so you would just click the buy.
and then you can see that
And
you can get it off of Binance. So that's where you know.
also it's a Binance. So you
So,
can buy it
so
off of
you would
Binance.
register with Binance then?
Yeah, so that's just one of the exchanges that has Hashgraph. So when you're on CoinMarketCap, it shows different exchanges that the different coin might be on. So you can
Okay.
find different coins that the different exchanges that they're on.
Gotcha. That's good stuff, Shannon. I
Yeah,
think
you see,
I'll
it's down
use.
13%.
Yeah, it's a good time to buy.
Yeah.
So I guess my question is, if I were to go to Binance or Trey here, were to go to Binance,
Mm-hmm.
would Barry / nickname Trey, would he be able to just spend $1 and get 3 of these
I think
on Binance?
the minimum buy is $25. But if he spent
Okay, so
$25, he'd have
That's
that much.
right.
that's still not bad.
Okay.
That's still
That's
not bad.
not bad. That's a nice little investment to have all of those coins. I may just drop 100 just on the strength.
Yeah.
And just looking at the chart, look at this chart over the last 3 months. If you look at this Hashgraph HBR, it was at 10 cents right here. Maybe I need to blow this up a bit, but it was at 10 cents. And that was back on January the 19th, 10 cents. And now if you look at today's up here, March 31st, it's all the way up to 36 cents by March 31st. And today it's come down since Friday, or I think crypto trades every day. So as of right now, it is
Bitcoin
at 30
trades right
cents.
now. Yeah, I know Bitcoin trades right now.
I think all these cryptos trade around the clock, right, Shannon?
Yeah,
Yeah,
24 hours.
24/7.
Yeah, so this might be worth $100, buy you some coins. I'm not sure I'm a big fan of Binance.
Hey.
I would like more of an American company where I could get my coins out of. I think the other thing is the thing I hear about, Shannon, is converting the Bitcoin to dollars. I hear once you get like these cryptocurrencies, the Bitcoins, the Ethereums, even this HBAR, you're really in that currency, and it's difficult to get it back out to dollars, or impossible in some cases. Is that the case, or is that just a rumor?
It's a bad rumor based upon people that actually have not taken the time to research on how to do it. For example, Coinbase, that's why I said Coinbase just went public. I'm sure Patrick knows about how Coinbase just recently went public.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I think KD and Nas made a whole bunch of money.
Yeah,
in Coinbase.
Nas made about 100 million.
There you go. So if I'm in Coinbase and I wanted to convert my Bitcoin into dollars, it takes minutes, and it goes directly to the Bank of America account. So if you want to flush out, which unfortunately I did a little too much, you want to change your Bitcoin to US dollars, it's no problem. Whatever currency that is on Coinbase, they are linked up with a bunch of banks where you can sync your bank, you can sync it to your phone, and then get it off.
Cash App as well.
Yep.
So I'm looking at the chat. We have Marviante Jenkins in Los Angeles, California, in the chat saying, "What's up?"
Hello,
what's
Marv.
up, Patrick?
What's up, Marv?
Hey,
How you guys
up,
doing?
Little one. Marv wants to know about Tron in the chat, and he's asking, "What's the word on Tron? What do you know about Tron, Shannon?"
I know Justin Sun is a super marketer. He's a big marketer. The technology, I can't really necessarily vouch for, but that dude, he's a big marketer. Let's just say. My thoughts on that. I've known about Justin Sun and Tron for quite a bunch of years because it was originally a token, and the technology just evolved, but it doesn't have anything on Hashgraph, let's just say. So
I was just about to ask you that question. Which one is better, Tron or Hashgraph?
I was thinking about a good analogy for Marv. It's almost like comparing. It's almost like comparing a G League versus the Lakers.
Wow.
No.
Okay.
No. What's the G League team gonna do against LeBron James? Nothing.
Oh. Yeah, that ain't gonna work, brother. That's not gonna work.
No way.
Okay.
I mean, you might make some money and then flip it in and out on Tron, but from a tech perspective, once you do your due diligence, it's like apples to oranges.
Yeah.
Okay.
But good question, Marv. Marv might have hung out with Justin Sun. That dude gets all over the place.
Is Justin Sun, he's the founder of Tron?
Yeah. Interesting Asian cat. Yep.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. Yeah, I'm still learning that space, the crypto space. So still learning there. That was it. Hey, Barry, do you have any questions, or are you just still taking notes here?
I'm taking notes, but when you said big money, what does that mean? Like Bitcoin.
He's saying, what does Bitcoin mean?
Okay. Bitcoin is simply the name of the first blockchain that everybody uses for exchanging money. So Bitcoin is the first working cryptocurrency.
Right. And it's very popular. And so then they had all of these additional cryptocurrencies come out, and they do different functions, but all behave similarly on this technology called the blockchain. So good question, Barry.
Yeah, very good question.
All right.
Well, I got something. I got something for Barry. Okay.
Yeah.
So
ahead.
one of the first original purchases of where somebody bought something with Bitcoin, the people went to Domino's. No, I think it was Papa John's Pizza, right? And they bought one pizza with 10,000 Bitcoin. You know how much 10,000 Bitcoin would be today?
A million?
He said $1 million.
So you take 10,000 times 55,000 right now. I'm about to do the calculation of that by
Once you do
myself.
the calculation, Shannon, somebody lost a lot of money. I heard about that. This is actually a very true story. This is a really true story.
That is 550 million.
Yes.
It's
Wait a minute.
expensive pizza.
Wow.
Somebody,
That pizza got diamonds in it.
It's more than it's got Cullinan diamonds in it.
yeah. All right, guys. So good stuff. So look,
Right.
I'm gonna pivot. I really wanted to talk to crypto. Shannon, thanks for bringing in that crypto knowledge. You can stick around, Shannon, if your time permits.
Oh yeah, I'm with you.
All right, perfect. We can go into, I wanted to show our viewing audience, guys, an ETF and how to find, some of the best stocks and ETFs. So if I can share my screen, let me share my screen here. Let's go and let me go here. And let me come over here and move this. And let me go to bar chart, barchart.com. And are you guys seeing my screen or you're not?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's a little truncated.
You were seeing my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, let me try it again. Okay, let me try it again because I was having a little glitch here. Let me go. Okay, so you guys can see the bar chart screen?
Yeah, very well.
All right, perfect. So for those who would like to, Patrick just talked about what is an ETF. And what I wanted to share today is how do you find the best ETFs? And then on top of that, we talk about option trading quite a bit. How do you find the best stocks to trade or to invest in using an ETF as a basis? So I see Barry, Trey, I see you about to write. You want to take notes on this one, trust me. So the first thing you do is you go to barchart.com. And then after you go to barchart.com, then you click on ETF. And then from ETF, you go down to popular ETFs on barchart.com. And so popular ETFs is a good place to go because these ETFs are popular for a reason. So once you come to popular ETFs, you're going to have all of the most popular ETF traded on the market. I like to go right here in the first section. It has the most popular global ETFs around the world. And so the three I specifically look at is the SPY, which is the Spider 500. Patrick talked about that a little earlier. Here is the QQQ, the NASDAQ, the ONEQ, the NASDAQ Composite, and the DIA, the Dow Jones Spider. And then lastly, you have the IWM, the Russell 2000. So among these ETFs, you will find everything you need to know as far as diversification and investing in ETFs, as well as you'll find the best stocks to invest in without having to look at CNBC and all of these shows that a lot of us look at. This is the cheat code. What's good about bar chart too, it shows you the 52-week performance. So if you were to invest in any one of these ETFs, like the IWM, for instance, the Russell 2000, you would have made 92% on your money passively, just putting your money in this ETF. So what is an ETF? I know Patrick described it in a lot of details earlier. I think a picture is worth 1,000 words. So let me show you how you see or know what's in an actual ETF. One of the most popular ETFs, I'm sure you guys heard of, is the QQQ. And so if I wanted to see what stocks make up this ETF, all I would do on bar chart is click on QQQ. And then once I'm in bar chart, I would go below to constituents. Constituents is just a big word that means what are the underlying stocks that make up an ETF. It's called the constituents, right? So once you click on the constituents, it clearly shows you everything that's in the QQQ and the percentage of that particular stock that makes up the QQQ. So when you buy the QQQ, you buying all of these stocks. You're buying Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Tesla, Alphabet. You get the picture. Even one of my faves, NVIDIA, PayPal, another one of my faves, and Adobe, Netflix. I have a lot of money in Netflix, and so forth. T-Mobile, Costco, Qualcomm, Starbucks, you name it. You buy all of these companies in one batch when you buy one ETF. And guess how much it costs you to get all of those companies? Only $342. Do you know how much Netflix alone trade for? Like $550, around that range. Tesla, over $700. You can get all of these companies for $342, and you will own, in the case of Netflix, 1.85% of it, but it's better than owning none of it. You will own 4.38% of Tesla and 11.27% of Apple. So that's what makes ETFs such a great deal. You get for one low price to buy a whole basket of stocks, and you get diversification. Not only do you have tech here, and there is some tech, but you would see, well, I guess you would see Moderna. You wouldn't think Moderna is tech, but Moderna is tech. You have Monster Beverage. You would think that wouldn't be Dr. Pepper. Heinz. Well, you think Heinz would be in the QQQ? Oh yeah, you're buying Heinz. Marriott. You wouldn't think you're buying a hotel conglomerate. Walgreens. So Ross. Who shops at Ross and floss the nice polo, but get it for a half of the price? So again, you get great diversification in one low price. So that's how you see what the constituents are in a particular ETF. And so we can go back. Let's just hit the back button. As a matter of fact, let me just go to the top so that you can see it again. So you go ETFs, most popular ETFs, come down. Let's, this time, instead of doing the QQQ, let's look at the SPY, which is the S&P 500 Spider. These are the most popular big companies in the United States Stock Exchange. So you click there to get in the Spider. You can see the chart just on the small chart view that it has great growth over time. This is a 5-year chart. I'm clicked here on 5-year. You can see the growth. And let's just go back and look at the QQQ, for instance, and look at that chart, by the way. I didn't pay. Look at that chart. Is that chart beautiful? That's a beautiful chart. If you look at like 2016, QQQ was 106. The beautiful thing about a chart is you see the past in one shot. You can see what the stock was in 2016, and then you can look today and see what it is. 106, 5 years, 342 now. But let me go back to the SPY, because that kind of jumped out of there. So, and then let's go to the constituents. So here are the constituents of the S&P 500. So when you hear S&P 500, you still get an Apple, you still get a Microsoft, Amazon, and all of these companies in one shebang. You actually get Home Depot, you get the idea, and others. So one could go and look at the most popular ETFs, look at the constituents for those ETFs to understand what underlying stocks you're purchasing for one low price. And for the SPY S&P 500, for instance, you get all of these great stocks for only $417 per share based on this weighted percentage. So I wanted to show that. I hope that made some sense. You could look at the Russell too, but I think you guys kind of get the idea. Any questions there or comments in the comments?
You made it make sense where your nephew will be able to make billions off of it. We just got to take his allowance and put it in.
Let's see if my nephew understands. Yeah, nephew. Did you understand that? Any questions, nephew?
Not really, because I got everything right there.
He got everything right there. Let me put it back up, nephew. There it is, right there. He's literally taking notes during the podcast. So good job, nephew. Good job. So yeah, that's it. So I mean, that's why I think ETFs are so popular. I think why a lot of people choose to make that type of an investment is because you buy a whole basket of top performing companies and you get diversity in one low price. So based on that, we have Patrick here that's going to show us how to make a quick couple of $100 this week based on an ETF trade before we wrap up the show. So Patrick, you've been pretty quiet. Would you like to share your strategy that you have been winning for the last 3-4 weeks in a row on your Condor trade?
Yes. So what I've been doing is I've been trading, been using something called the wheel strategy in trading options on the ETF, which is a semiconductor ETF called the SMH. And I've been using the option Greeks to determine the probability of making money on that particular option trade on the ETF. So I think, Troy, you were going to share a screen where the option train is.
Yeah, I will. I'm just looking at the chat and I got a couple of questions before I share my screen.
Okay.
I got a question from Tony Johnson.
Yes.
And he wanted to know, he would like to know what ETF that you like in particular, Patrick, before we go into the SMH strategy.
The wheel strategy. Well, I like the SMH. That's the ticker symbol. This is the Semiconductor Index or Semiconductor ETF. It has. Oh, the reason why I like this one is that it's based on the semiconductor industry, where there's like an acute shortage of chips, and the SMH is made up of all these chip suppliers. So you're going to have like your AMATs, your NVIDIAs, your KLA 10 core, NVIDIA, and so on and so forth. And because there's such pent up demand for semiconductors, and that's always been the case throughout the years, but it's more acute this time. The semiconductor SMH has outperformed the S&P 500. I think over a 5-year term, the S&P returned a 94.5% return, whereas the QQQ, that returned maybe about 120% over a 5-year period. The SMH has outperformed with 209%. And that's the reason why I like the SMH, especially that fund managers over a long period of time cannot beat the S&P 500. They're pretty much underperforming it. So the SMH overperforms both the QQQ and the S&P 500.
I guess you got your answer out there, Tony. So SMH, I'm a big fan of SMH. It is my largest ETF holding, by the way, is SMH. And I have a significant amount of money in SMH. And I just showed you, did I just show SMH? I think I showed QQQ. I did not show SMH.
You did not show SMH, but
you would go through that same process.
You would go through the same process on bar chart. And as I was saying, it's got the top S&P, it's got the top semiconductor producers. So you're going to have, like I said, your AMATs, your AMDs, your NVIDIA, Lam Research, and among many others. And you can also trade options on them.
Yep. So we're going to do that trade shortly. So Shannon.
Yes, sir.
What do you think?
Hey,
SMH, ETFs, what do you think? The way you swayed us over on Hashgraph, did we sway you over a little bit to park some diversification, some of that money over into an ETF? Was that persuasive?
Yeah. That's why I always get to call my good friend Troy on the insider information, because I know that this is your wheelhouse. So hey, yeah. I wouldn't second guess it. And you got your nephew over there soaking up the game, so he's going to put you up on the new stuff.
You're going to have him on the next world leader platform in the future.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm sure he's going to figure out how to mine Bitcoin with his Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead, Patrick.
And another reason why I like the SMH is that it's got a 5-star Morningstar rating, and Morningstar rates managed funds such as ETFs, closed-end mutual funds, open-end mutual funds, and they rate them from a 1-star to a 5-star, and 5-star is obviously outstanding, and SMH is a 5-star rating on the popular Morningstar rating system.
Gotcha. All right, Patrick. So we're going to wrap up the show with a trade.
Yes.
And Patrick, you're going to show us a trade. We're going to come back next week and see the results of that trade. Are you actually going to put this trade on if it looks the way it looks today that we're about to go over?
Yeah, it looks really good. It looks really good.
Okay. So the background on this, Shannon, is Patrick has done this trade how many weeks in a row?
About 4 or 5 weeks.
4 or 5 weeks in a row and won on this trade. So I said, bring it on the show is using the SMH ETF. That's why we're talking ETFs. And so it has low volatility, which is beta. And so it's a pretty benign trade. And so I'm going to jump in it based on this strategy, and I'm going to put up a little money. For the YouTube audience, this is for educational purpose and entertainment. We're not telling you to do this. So do not come after us for doing this. We're going to do this, and we will report out next week on how it goes. So Patrick is going to talk me and the audience through this trade that we plan to put on Monday or Tuesday, and it should net us a couple of $100 within a few days. So Patrick, will you talk me through this trade?
Absolutely. So what you
Okay, go ahead.
So what you want to do is open up the options chain for both puts and calls.
So
Okay.
I'm sharing my screen.
Yes.
Right now, I'm sharing my little daughter's Thinkorswim account. And so I'm not showing my account in particular. I pulled up SMH is the ETF that Patrick likes, the ETF that Patrick was just talking about. We have that ETF up, I believe. I think we have that ETF.
Yeah, this is
correct?
the ETF because I can see the ticker symbol on your far top left, and I can also see the price of the ETF is $252. So there's the SMH, that's the ticker symbol, and
okay. So here's yes.
And if you scroll this slightly to the right, you can see the current price. So the last closing price is $252.41.
Okay, so we got SMH here, ETF, SMH. What expiration are we talking about, Mr. Patrick?
We're talking about an expiration that expires no more than a week. So if you're looking at the Monday's trading, then it's going to expire that same week, Friday.
So April the 23rd.
Yes, April the 23rd.
Expiration this next upcoming Friday.
Yes.
I'm here, Patrick. Now, Patrick, for the audience here, we have Thinkorswim up. We have a couple of good indicators here. One, not only do we have the strike price, and this shows exactly where SMH is currently trading.
Yeah, it's trading at $252 or so.
So right here, 252, this is right at the money. We're at the midpoint right here.
Right.
We have both sides of the trade. We have the put side, we have the call side. We have the probability out the money right here. This gives us our percentage of winning the trade. So this gives us our percentage of winning. So we put on this trade right here, we got a 92% chance to win. If we put on this right here, we have a 95% chance to win. So we're putting on winning percentage right here. That's what probability out the money means. Our probability of winning the trade based on what the market is saying, based on historical volatility of this particular ETF. If I were to put this on, I got a 94% chance to win at a 35 strike based on the market as it closed on Friday. And equally over here, I have a 95% chance of winning this trade at 267.50 on the call side based on the market as it closed on Friday. So you did a trade 4 weeks in a row and won. It was a couple of hundred, was it $200 or $300? How much money was it, Patrick?
It was about $300. So I'm doing a little in excess of $1,200 a month.
Okay, so you're doing $300 a week. You've been consistently for the last 4 to 5 weeks. Talk me through the trade that you're putting on.
Okay, so first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to
start right here, Patrick. I'm starting right here at the money. Okay. 252. 252. That means
Yes.
at the money means where the current stock price is. How are you doing $300 a week?
Okay. What I'm doing is, I'm selling puts on this ETF. So I'm looking at the probability of maybe about 75% or so
On the put side. So
on the
on the
put side.
okay, just to jump ahead a little bit, you're selling on the put and you're selling on the call side.
Yeah. So let's
So
start on the put
you're
side.
selling on, yeah. So what?
So let's start on the put side.
Yeah, I know. We're gonna start
Okay.
on the put side, but just to let the audience know where we're going, you're
Okay.
gonna sell on both sides. You're gonna sell on the call side, and you are going to sell on the put side. But first, we'll talk about where you're selling on the put side. So here's
Right.
the put side,
Yes.
and 252, and you're looking at, if we look at the probability out of the money, meaning probability of this contract expiring worthless, and you keep all of the money that you get in premium,
Yes.
you're looking at around the 70,
About
between 75 and 80%
yes. Yes.
probability out the money.
Exactly. And then
Okay, so
what you're
you
looking.
would sell, if you were to do a sell,
Mm-hmm.
to sell, you do on the bid. The ask is to buy, the
Yes.
bid is to sell, and
Right.
then the actual price you sell at is in between these two. I know that sounds confusing. So you click on the bid, and
Yes.
then you do not sell at the bid price of 89 cents, because you actually sell at the price that's in between the bid and the ask. So we were to click here, then the midpoint is actually 95 cents. So you actually sell at 95 cents.
Yeah.
And 95 cents in option talk is really $95, because there's $100 multiple. So for $95, you would collect on the put side if we were to do this trade at the current prices of today. Correct.
So what I would do is I would sell 2 of these options at around, I put in a limit order of 95 cents, multiply that by 2, because I'm going to be selling 2 puts on that.
Yep.
And then it would be something called a collateralized sale of this option, and I would have roughly $49,000 put aside just in case I do get a sign, like if this option finishes in the money, I'd be forced to buy this stock at $24,500 per contract. So you multiply that by 2, that's 49,000. So that's what I have put aside.
So you would secure this trade with 49K.
Yes.
49.5K. You got that secure. So if the trade went against you and you had to buy the stock, you have enough money to buy that stock.
Yes.
And for those who would not want to buy the stock, they would just have to buy back the contract. There are many people that would not have 49.5, or even if they have 49.5, they do not want to pay 49.5 for a contract. Even though you and I, we like SMH, and we're fine paying 49.5 for this contract, because we know it's going to go back up because it has a great growth trajectory. There are some who will buy the contract back if the trade went against them. So far, the trade has not gone against you, so you have not had to buy back the contract. Okay, so you would collect $95 times 2. What's that, Patrick? You're a supercomputer.
$95, so it's $190.
So you will collect $190 here instantly. As soon as you sell this, you get your money right off the bat. So we got that on the put side. Now, what would you do on the call side over here based on looking at the probability out of the money?
Okay, so because I own more than 100 shares of the SMH, what I would do is, again, it's a protective strategy, so it's a collateralized strategy. I'd look at the 74 right here. 74%.
74%
Yeah.
out of the money.
Finishing out of the money.
So this is 74.95. So you got a 75% chance to win this trade at the 257 and a hash strike price above SMH.
Yes.
So if you do the 257 and a half above SMH, you have a 75% chance to keep this money
without being assigned.
Right here. Okay, so you would buy how many contracts? How many contracts of this would you sell?
Just one, because I don't have 200 shares of the SMH. I have 100 and I have 130 or so.
I got you. So to sell again, you go on the bid line. The ask line is to buy. The bid line is to sell. You would click on the bid line and you actually want to sell at the price in between the bid and the ask. That price is $1.20. So you would get $120 for selling this. As soon as you sold this contract, that $120 will hit your account. Boom, right?
Yes. Yeah, you could take that immediately.
Right. So in this two-step trade, you just collected how much money?
Okay, so on the option side, on the put side, we just calculated 95 times 2 is $190. Am I correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then on the call side, we calculate 120. So 120 plus 190 is $310.
Okay.
So there's your $300. There's your $300 collection of premium. And again, this is a weekly. So you would make this trade either a Monday or Tuesday, and then it will expire worthless. Well, that's the hope is it'll expire worthless on Friday.
Gotcha. So it's a 3 to 4 day trade, $300 a week strategy, $1,200 a month. So pretty cool, Super. Well, we call Patrick Super, that's his nickname, but yeah, pretty cool trade, Patrick. So, guys, the beauty of this is Patrick is selling a put below and selling a call above. He's actually boxing in this SMH price and collecting premiums on both sides of SMH. And he's doing it consistent. And he's doing it consistently for the last 4 weeks. This trade could go against them. So everything has risk, but go ahead, Patrick.
Yeah, I just want to show a screen of how SMH looks on a price pattern.
Okay, let me get out of that before we wrap it up. Okay.
Okay, one moment here. Okay. So what I'm doing is just putting it up. Let me share the screen real quick. All right, right here. I thought I had it up. So anyways, I'll just put it up right there. And the interactive chart. You see how it's kind of holding up here in a trading pattern. And it's been doing that since April the 1st. So it's trading pretty much.
Where's the traded pattern that you're seeing, Patrick?
This here, this consolidation right here.
And how far back is it going?
April the 1st.
Okay.
Or April the 5th.
Oh,
So
I see.
anyway,
So it's going straight across right there. I see.
so I see it that because it's in a trading pattern, there's a high likelihood that these trades might finish. Well, the option trades will finish out of the money, and I'll be able to collect the premium without getting assigned because it's in a tight trading pattern. It's not particularly volatile, even though the premiums are, pretty decent.
Yeah, and then what about the prices that you're selecting at the out of the money? Where do they fall on the chart? Are they falling above resistance and below support?
Um,
So if we
the
were to go back and look, let's
yeah,
say if
so
we were to go back and look at what we chose before, we chose, if I look back, we chose the 245. Where does the 245 fall here?
the 245 is out of this pattern.
Yes, right there. It's right there at, yeah, that's a support level.
And then the
A weak
257,
support level.
and then the 257 is what we looked on the call side.
See, let me take a quick look here, Patrick. Yeah, we looked at the 257 and a half.
And that's,
So you're right there at resistance.
yes. So I don't think it's ready to break out of this pattern. So that's an easy trade.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Would you stop sharing your screen?
Yeah, I'll just stop sharing the screen right now.
All right. So before we wrap up the show, that's the show for today. Shannon, any comment, any questions? What do you think of that trade, Shannon? You ready to put it on?
I think it's awesome, man. And then the thing that I think is the most awesome is how you got your nephew on here.
Yeah, man, he's a beast. He's gonna be a killer in the market someday. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Hey, Barry, Trey, you have any questions related to that? That was a lot of technical option jargon. That was for the more intermediate person. Do you have any questions related to what Patrick just talked about?
No, I'm fine.
You're fine. You want to just talk to me later off camera?
You just,
Okay.
wow, you seem to understand it. That's good. Good for a youngster.
Yeah, you're talking puts and calls, and he never heard of that before, but he'll understand it at some point.
Yes.
Hey,
All
he's
right, guys.
he's
All right.
absorbing it like it's the good game that he should.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Patrick, thanks for joining us from Los Angeles, and Shannon, we'll be in touch.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us from Miami, Florida. We're about to sign off, and as always, we call this show the Bet Out of Debt Show because when you place a trade, it's called placing a bet, and hopefully it's a winning one to keep you out of debt. And as always, keep investing. You guys have a great weekend.